This is the method I'd use to avoid getting AI slop. So the first is just isolation. So never ask, teach me Spanish. Like never just give a general question. The way AI works is it's kind of autistic, where it just takes what you say at face value and it can't understand what you mean if your sentences are too general. Meaning, if you just give a general sentence like teach me Spanish, it won't be able to just read your mind and understand what you specifically mean by that. And so teach me Spanish could mean so many things. It could mean teach me this specific tense, or it could mean teach me this other tense. It's too general. And so you want to isolate your specific issue and add the more specific, the better. Okay. And so if there's a sentence in Spanish that you don't understand, don't even give it the sentence. Give it the specific word in that sentence that is confusing you. That's what I'd say. The next thing is to copy the entire exchange back to it. Meaning, if it says something that confuses you, literally copy its response, paste it back in and say, I don't understand what you're saying here. I don't understand what this means. Okay. Don't try to act like you understand. Be honest with it. This gives the AI context. It gives it the ability to actually understand what you mean and where your confusion actually stems from. And then also, and this is in conjunction with this step, name the specific gap, the specific confusion directly, okay? And so if it explains something and it thinks that it's explained it to you, double down and say, you know what, I don't understand that explanation. I don't understand that way of conjugation. I don't understand why that preposition is there, right? This relates to specificity. And this relates to the same reason I mentioned in step 1, which is specificity, right? And then the last step I would recommend is just to re-ask, sometimes several times, okay? The first time you ask it to explain something, it will usually be very AI sloppish, right? The second time, it will get better. The third time, it will get even better. Basically, the more context you give it, the more times you give it context to your situation, to your confusion, the better it will be at explaining it to you. And so if you gave it a prompt like, I want to understand this, but could you explain this through the method through the 3 W's, which is this. You explain why that is, then you give an example, and then you explain what has worked for you in the past and what hasn't worked for you. And then you ask it to interview you about your Spanish knowledge. And then you ask it a question. That answer that it gives you will be so much higher quality because it just knows way more about you. Context is king. The more context you give it about your Spanish knowledge, about you, the better it will understand you and the better it will be able to curate your responses. And so naming every single gap, every single time that you don't understand, every confusion really, really helps because it gives it more context. Or if you're just starting out, I'd highly recommend checking out the Speedy Spanish cheat sheets, which are all my cheat sheets to help you start learning Spanish with these frameworks. And you'll find it in the first link in the description.